Well, I told you we are coming back, everybody. Welcome into another edition of the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers. I am your host, Dennis Silvers, and I am excited today about the show for a couple of reasons. Number one, we have a couple of guests on at the same time, and this is kind of first for the show. So we've got not a split screen, we got a triple split screen. And I'm very excited. We got two great guests on. We're going to be talking some golf, of course. They have a very special event coming up pretty soon that we are going to hear all about. So pay attention. I don't know if there's room for you to get down there, but we're going to talk about this event nonetheless. Weather here in Las Vegas is fabulous. Why? Because we're getting back down to normal. We're getting down to the mid 80s. We're getting to the upper 80s. Looks like the heat wave and record-setting temperatures every day are gone. So everybody's getting out. They're playing some golf. And we hope wherever you are watching us from, on whatever platform, you're getting out and playing some golf too, because you can't get better unless you play. You know what I mean? It's lessons, practice, 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 play, play, play. And that's the way it is. We got two great instructors on for you today. So you're going to learn a hell of a lot about your golf swing. And hopefully I know it's going to help me, and I hope that it helps you. Let me tell you about a guest we've had on many times. He's one of our favorites. And let me find his information, and I'll tell you about him. You probably recognize the name Lou Guzzi. Lou has been recognized as one of Golf Magazine's top 100 teachers in America. He is the owner-operator of the Lou Guzzi Golf Academy in Dabbler, Pennsylvania, so he is back there. Did I say Lou? Oh my gosh. Okay. I got my notes mixed up. I beg your pardon. We're doing Brian Manzella. Somebody wrote Lou Guzzi, another great friend, another great teacher on my show. Boy, I tell you, it's been one of those days. So, Brian, long recognized as one of Golf Magazine's top 100 teachers in America, and again, the owner and operator of his academy. He has got a great event coming up with our other guest that we're going to tell you about, another longtime teaching professional, and his name happens to be John Ortega. He's located in beautiful Costa Mesa, California. For those who don't know where Costa Mesa is, it's in Southern California, not too far from the water. Spent many happy days there, and I'm going to have them tell you all about the event. So let's bring him on camera. So I want John to tell John, hey, John, Brian, welcome to the show. As I mentioned, John, I didn't have time.
Lou's a good guy too now.
Yeah, he is a good guy.
He's a friend of mine.
And I don't know, I've got it in my head, but wow. Anyway, John, tell everybody a little bit about your background. I apologize for not having time to organize something like I did for Mr. Manzella. Tell us a little bit about your background. You've been teaching a long time.
I have. I started when I was 23. I'm 65, so you do the math. It's been a while.
Wow.
Long time. And I've been fortunate enough to have some really, really good players that I've coached. A couple of them made it to the PGA Tour. One of them, since he was age 8, and he's the kid with the long backswing that everybody's admiring his swing these days, named Jake Knapp.
Yeah.
And I used to make putters for a living. I'm kind of known mostly as a performance coach. I take kids on the course, teach them how to play. I'm not too weak as it regard or in relation to swing mechanics. Jake's swing is pretty much a product of his and my work. So, I think I have some evidence to show. I'm pretty proficient at teaching the golf swing too. Right now, I'm in my lab. I have a kid named Cameron Way. It's over there whaling wedges. So pretty active teaching golf, loving it. I've done it all my life, and
Great.
I'm going to do it till I can't.
Hey, ain't too many things you could do that are better, let me tell you, except be out on the golf course and playing. I want to mention that also Brian was a 2013 National PGA Teacher of the Year. Also serves as the PGA's of America
No, that's
teaching.
Lou. That's Lou.
Oh, that's Lou. Okay,
No,
boy,
I
I
never-
really got screwed up.
No, but you need
Hey,
to
you gotta-
speak that into existence now. I've made it to the Final Four before. I have. I got beat. I got
Boy.
beat by a lady, a really nice lady named Kathy Gildersleeve Jensen.
Really?
Yes. She won that year. It was me, Mike Adams.
Another good teacher.
I can't. Ted Sheftick. You know, those two guys are a little bit older than me, half generation older, and myself and Kathy, and she won. And but Lou is a dear friend. He got on the Golf Magazine Top 100 list same year I got on, which
That
I guess
you
is
got
13 years ago, 14 years ago. So we're in the same alumni class.
Yeah, there you
They're
go.
gonna put us out to pasture in 7 years.
I don't know. Somebody screwed up my phone this morning when I got up, to get a little bio on you, and obviously, and I should have known. So it's on me. I'm bad for it. Anyway, John, you've got a terrific event coming up, you two guys together, which will be great on October the 31st at your facility in Costa Mesa. Tell us about it.
In my facility, that's about 1,000 yards from the course that I coach at, we're going to go over a lot of Brian's discoveries and ways of thinking about how to help golfers from the beginning golfer to all the way up to like elite professional golfers. So we're going to do a 4 to 5 hour seminar, and it's going to be very interactive. We'll have somewhere between 10 and 12 coaches, and we're going to have the simulator here fired up. And Brian's really master of putting together slideshows, and so it's going to be very, very informative. And then we can go over to the golf course and watch the ball fly.
Yeah.
So there aren't too many places, or there aren't too many people in my area that kind of have the notion to hop in a plane and go rent a car and spend thousands and thousands of dollars to learn more about how to become more proficient at golf. So when I opened this place, it was my dream to be able to provide that for other instructors, because I think it's important that the younger instructors kind of learn from the older instructors the things that they know now, kind of learn from our mistakes, let's just say, or the things that were probably not as good of an idea as we thought they once were.
Yeah.
And so that's what my desire going forward is, to provide that to the people that coach golf in Southern California or wherever they want to come from. Doesn't
Right.
matter
No,
where.
that's great. That is
That's
absolutely great.
super important.
Now, I understand that you're not going to have a whole lot of people attending this. Are you sold out effectively?
We're getting pretty close. I mean, I think we started thinking about doing it a couple weeks ago, so we're not going to have that much of a runway to do it. But most of the guys in Southern California that I know that are kind of they're curious Georges or information seekers, they're going to come unless they're on vacation or something like that. So we've got a couple spots
we
left.
probably have about 4 or 5 spots still open.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And again, that's
So
October. That's October 31st, and it's most of the day, correct?
Yes, it's probably from 10 to 4-ish. I mean, we'll go over. I mean, generally, I don't know if you've ever seen Brian present, but he's pretty good at it, and people get pretty entertained. So, and then we usually go to dinner. So even if we're not like in the classroom or on the golf course, we're still talking golf. That's what happened the last time he was out here. I had him out coaching some of the people that are from the area that are good players and also instructors. So I had people, somebody from Northern Cal that came down, some guys from up in the Pasadena area, which is about 50 miles away.
Nice.
So, we get a pretty good, he has a pretty good following. They come down, take some time in with him, and then we just keep talking into the night. I think last time we were probably talking at dinner till like 9 o'clock.
Wow.
So it's kind of a all-day thing, even though it's scheduled to be 5 hours. We just keep going once we start chewing the fat.
Yeah, it's hard to stop. You start getting those stories out. It is It's tremendous. I think somebody's hitting balls in your facility, aren't they?
Yeah, does that bother you?
Tremendously. No, if he could hold off for a couple of minutes, tell him I'd appreciate it. I know, he wants to hit some balls, but he heard this boom, 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 boom. Anyway,
Okay.
that is absolutely awesome. John, let me ask you this. I know that we have talked about it, Brian, and I want to get your opinion on it. As a longtime teaching professional, you work with, again, a lot of players of different abilities. Why do you think that most amateurs take so damn long really to get better, to see their handicap start dropping?
You want to go first, Brian?
No, he's heard my answer. You tell him.
I don't think it takes that long. I mean, I haven't had that experience too many times. Occasionally you're going to get somebody who's not very well suited to golf, because most of the people that I work with, they get better. I'm not going to claim that I bat 1,000, but I've been doing this a long time. And, if you're a good teacher or good coach, you kind of know what to say when and how to bring somebody along a little bit at a time. So I see these little incremental improvements, and I even like set the stage for that in the beginning. I say, hey, I'm not going to take you from being a 12 handicap to a scratch. I might be able to get you from 12 to 8 and then down to 6, which I've done with the guy that's a member over at Huntington Seacliff Club.
John, do
And,
me a favor.
so-
I hate to interrupt, but you keep moving side to side and you get out of the shot, and we want to see that handsome face of yours. So stay right there in the center. There you go.
Perfect right there.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect right
Yeah,
there.
I
Don't
think
move.
to elaborate on what John's saying is that I think Dennis overall, that's the answer, right? If you find a good teacher, it's almost guaranteed you're going to improve however long it takes, at least gradually toward your goals. And the people that think they can just kind of YouTube it and go out on their own, that's tough. So as
Very
John
tough.
is thinking about the question, he doesn't see it with people that come to see him. It's just, but he's director of instruction out at Costa Mesa Country Club, and I'm sure, Johnny, you see all kind of people all the time. They never take lessons from you or any of the other instructors, and they're just about the same they were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
No matter how
that's a
many
good
balls
point.
they hit, right?
Brian, that's a good point. John, what is the commonality of problem that most of your students come to you for? Everybody wants to hit the ball further. Yeah, that's a given. But what's the commonality of problem that they come see you for?
Hold on a second. I gotta turn my phone off here.
That's a nice ringtone.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. I would say that the majority of the people that come to me, they didn't really have some distinct, like clear instruction. And so
Right.
they're trying this, they're trying that, and they really don't ever like lock into a direction. I'm sorry, even though I'm trying not to move, somehow this keeps, I'm going to try to get
Right
myself in
there.
the center.
Right there is perfect.
Right. It just keeps moving around. I'm not moving, honestly. Either way, but they'll keep trying different things. They won't lock into what your prescription is. So
Right.
it's like non-compliance is what I find for the most part. So if you give somebody some homework and they do it, and if it doesn't work, then I'll go with that. I'm just like, okay, whoops, I got to maybe change something up. But oftentimes when I have difficulty with somebody is they'll I had this one guy came in, he's hitting the ball better. He's not very well suited for golf. His hand-eye coordination or his fine motor, it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
And he said he went to get club fitting, and the guy told him to get a lot flatter on his backswing. He got his arms way, way behind him, his elbow, and he's kind of a stocky guy, and he's trying to like really wrap the club around him.
Hard
and the
to
club
do.
just kind of keeps pushing out, and he's kind of shanking the ball, and he's like, well, what am I doing? And like, what? Not what I asked you to do, for sure.
Yeah,
So I
hard
think
to do.
that's the one thing that I find, like what Brian said, if somebody wants to like take it an extra step and they go on YouTube or they go on Instagram and they watch these guys that lay the club a lot and spin around their back hip or whatever it might be, it can be it leads them the wrong way. I had a young girl come in from China just recently. I'm gonna leave the instructor nameless. I got her in here in the studio, and then we went out and played golf, and she was really going well. And she has a pretty good instructor back in China, so she went to this Instagram, sensational
Instagram teacher.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that she had gone, and we went on the golf course, and she's hitting these big hooks and blocks and shanks. I'm like, what the hell? I'm just trying to doubt what I was doing for her. Is what I offered her that flimsy?
Yeah.
Then
What's
later
going
I found out
on?
I found out that she had made a trip to see this guy, and it totally made sense because he's one of these king of laydown people underplaying. So it's like, okay, then that makes sense. So that's just an example of some of the pitfalls and things that we encounter when it comes to being an instructor. Because you have these eager people that want to try a bunch of things, and they're not really slow and steady, wins the race. They're kind of like they want it right now. So I think it's just that people sometimes the way that they proceed and the way they proceed can be detrimental to their improvement.
And they have no patience. They think they could get it overnight, and you just can't. This game takes a long time. You're never going to master it. You're going to get frustrated, neurotic, just like everybody else. John, before I let you go, if somebody wants to come see you for help, what's the best way to get a hold of you? What's your email address? What's your website? Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
The best ways to get in touch with me would be either my Instagram page, message me. It's John Ortega PGA. I'll go ahead and give out my phone number. It's 949-351-8053. You can text me. I'm not as good with text. Sorry about that. I keep getting out of the screen. You can either text me at 949-351-8053 or call me. I'm better with phone calls. I'm kind of older, right? So somebody calls and leaves me a message, I usually get back to them. So I don't feel odd if you call me. So just call me. 949-351-8053. Those are the two best ways.
And you have a website.
I do. I have OrtegaPuttLab.com. You could reach out through OrtegaPuttLab.com.
Okay. ORTEGA Puttlab.com. That would be good because that's got your number on it. Worst case scenario, bug the people over at Costa Mesa Country Club. Hey, I'm trying to get a hold of John, and they'll hang up on you, but they'll probably give you the number.
John hasn't been calling me back. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, John, I'm gonna let you go. Good luck with your event on the 31st. I know it's going to be a hit. I know Brian speaks very highly of you. He's looking forward to coming down, and I'm going to try to get down there somehow and watch you guys in action. I'd love to meet you in person. And John, we're going to have you back on the show if you'd like to come back on. And I promise I will have the right name. Okay.
You can call me. Call me.
I don't know. I don't know what happened this morning, but anyway, thank you again, John. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you sooner than later. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to step away. We're going to take a short break. We come back. We're going to finish up with our remaining special guest, Brian Manzella. Stay with us. Right back. Hi, I'm Dennis Silvers, host of the 19th Hole Podcast for golfers. Here to tell you about a product that's improved my game, Poptical sunglasses. Unlike ordinary sunglasses, Popticals are collapsible using a unique rail system that lets you easily store them in their protective case. They offer crystal clear vision, UV protection, and are scratch resistant and water repellent. Poptical's golf-specific lenses feature purple and violet tints that reduce the grain saturation of golf courses and unleash the golfer's ability to distinguish between green gradients to identify course contours and variations on every shot, even grain patterns on the greens. Admittedly, they look great on and off the course. Plus, Popticals come with a 2-year warranty, a 30-day return policy, and make the perfect gift for the golfer in your life. Visit Popticals.com for more info. All right, welcome back, everybody. I've got to tell you, I got a pair of Popticals. They are fabulous looking, and they really, truly have helped my game, especially when it comes to reading putts, because it does give you the real stuff that's happening on the greens. Takes all of the nonsensical colors out. You get a better line, and I've been lucky enough to make a few more putts. But they're really, really good. Anyway, back with Mr. Brian Manzella. And Brian, let me ask you this. In December, I believe December the 17th, before Christmas, we've got another special event out here, made for TV event. And they were looking around for a sponsor and a golf course. And I said, it's either going to be one of two. It's either going to be Shadow Creek, owned by MGM, or it's going to be the Wynn course. And sure enough, they just announced that it is going to be Shadow Creek, which is a wonderful facility. So I had a 50-50 shot, so I happened to be right. And this is an event that is going to pair two players from the PGA Tour against two players from the Live Tour, all happen to be major champions, and it's going to be Scotty Scheffler and Brooks Koepka against Rory McIlroy, and I'm trying to think of the other gentleman's name. I'm ashamed that
Bryson DeChambeau.
Bryson.
Right? So,
thank you very much. Yeah.
So it's Bryson and Brooks, because they're both on the Live Tour.
They're both on the Live
Against
Tour.
Rory and Scheffler.
And Scheffler, yeah.
Yes.
I was reading how much money that Scheffler made this season. Staggering. And you wonder, what do I need to go out and play any more golf for? There's something like $46 million or something. Brian, it's obscene.
But I think the players are, I would say all of them, but most of them, especially the guys at the top, they're really pro their tour. And now you have these two competing tours, like the old NFL, AFL thing,
right?
Where, you had a competing league for the folks that aren't as old as me and Dennis and Johnny. There was like, I wonder if one team could beat the other team. Well, that's what the Super Bowl was. So what's the biggest event of all time?
Exactly.
Is the Super Bowl. So this is the Super Bowl of golf.
Yeah.
It's not a major. As a matter of fact, it has no affiliation with either of the two tours. This was all done separately by the players, and I'm sure their agents and all this kind of stuff. And I think it's going to have fabulous viewership, because I think people really are on one side of the fence or the other. I'm sort of pro-live. I don't have any problem with the PGA Tour. They've never done anything for me, or really for golf. To me, I think the PGA Tour has blown a million opportunities over the years, and one of them was keeping this thing from happening. Mickelson went to these guys and tried to make them a deal. So I would love to see a good match come down to the last hole, and a few 10, 20 million people watching, and it would probably be a good thing for golf overall.
You're going to see the best players in the world. I remember they had the Tiger Phil match, which I was out to see and attended the news conference. That was very interesting, but I'm wondering, and they only went, what was it, 17 holes or something like that? And I'm going, why? What's the reason for that? They weren't up against a television schedule or anything, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. But it's going to be very, very entertaining. And like I say, Shadow Creek's a wonderful, wonderful venue to have that at. Anyway, let me get into some questions for you, Brian, and let me get my notes here. How much, in your experience, can fitted clubs help your game? And when should a fairly new player start even thinking about getting fitted for clubs? Because it takes some money.
Yeah, so I give you a perfect example. the lesson I gave right before we went on the air is a gentleman who's a doctor. He lives close by, and he just started playing golf 2 years ago. And he's had about a 6-month lull because he had knee surgery, but he's fine.
Ooh.
A young guy, he's going to be fine. He's just cruising at 106 miles an hour. He can swing probably 7, 8 more than that.
Wow.
So that helps. Okay, all of that stuff helps. But he just had sort of a starter set. Like he spent $300 or $400, right? Everybody's had one of those sets.
Sure.
I mean, that price was different when me and Dennis were young. Now, today he comes for his lesson, and he's got his first real set of clubs. The TaylorMade Paradigms, like right off the rack.
Good
And
sticks.
he's ex-military, they get a discount, so he got those clubs. Now, I'd say if he keeps score, he doesn't probably break 100 yet. Hits a lot of good shots, but he's a new golfer. Remember now, less than 2 golf years of golf.
Okay.
Most people don't break 100 for a couple of years.
No.
Now, technically, if I showed you his swing, the best swing he made today, you think he was way better than that. But you don't realize, if you're already a golfer, how many little things you've learned over the years to get the ball around the golf course. He's learning those things. So a year from now, 18 months from now, he's probably going to be threatening to break 90, most of his good days, and shooting in the 90s regularly, probably low 90s. Now he's ready. I think that doing it ahead of time, what are they fitting you for? What kind of golfer are you? Right.
Yeah.
So you're spending probably $2,000 for a set of off the rack clubs and double to triple for a high end set of fitted clubs. So the fitter, you're not really going to change what you fit in that much as you get better, believe it or not, shaft wise, but head wise, you have no idea. So you need to get a real set of clubs, have somebody help you a little bit, get your first set. And when you're ready for the next set, don't go down the route most people do and go into, Carl's Golf Land or whatever they got out there and just buy the next set with fancier shafts or something like that. Go to one of these high-end fitting places and go through the process.
Right, get the numbers.
And make a dang investment in your game. And you'd be surprised. If you're an avid golfer, you'll probably spend less money long term because you're not going to be switching clubs all the time.
Right, exactly. Good point.
Like Chase, I don't like those irons. I had a bad round with those irons. I'm gonna get another set of irons. If you got a set of irons like I've got, which thank God, when you at this point in my life, I get some stuff, for a pretty good deal or nothing. That's a $4,000 set of irons. So, I mean,
wow.
They were fit for you because you're the one that hit the shots.
Right.
So why are you going back to Edwin Watts to see, some other, those shafts were fit for you. They were put together. Right. Another thing people don't realize they're paying for when they get high-end fitting clubs is the manufacturers are building these clubs quick, man. I'm not saying they don't do a good job. I've been in some of the factories. Ping does a good job. Mizuno does a pretty good job. But you're talking about somebody who's a high-end builder putting your clubs together. McElroy ain't getting no set off the rack now.
No,
okay?
no, no.
And the biggest difference is when you get to the longer clubs, by the time you get to hybrids, fairway woods, and drivers, and you're into shafts that you can't really go to your local golf store and buy a driver or whatever with these shafts. They might have the same name on them, but they're not really, because the price would be so astronomical.
Right.
They would either get smashed and grabbed or somebody would just go $1,200 for a driver. But trust me, the high-end shafts are more money because they're much more specific, and that specific in a good fitting is your specific. So I would say if somebody was a 90 shooter and they had a pretty good set of clubs and they got a fitted set of clubs, they would probably not be a 90 shooter anymore. It'd probably be worth 2 or 3 shots a game. But no extra lessons. No, I'm just saying, if you shoot 90 average on your golf course where they hand-picked off the rat set and you went and spent the money and went to True Spec or Cool Clubs or one of these outfits like that, Club Champion, and get a good fitter, like anything else. They're bad politicians, good politicians. Good golf teachers and bad golf. You get your good fitter at one of these places, you're going to be well satisfied with knowing that you've got the best thing that is currently out for you.
Right, exactly. No,
30 or 40,000 combinations at these places.
Yeah, no, that's well said, Brian. That's very well said. Before we take our next break, I want to ask you this, though, before we leave. I've had some back and forth with golf people about so-called muscle memory. I really don't believe in it, number one, and I really don't think, Brian, it really exists. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
So it turns out this is what we know right now from the medical side.
Okay.
Muscles don't have memory, but I played football in high school, 5A football in high school. I could have played in college. I 5'9". Safeties who were 5'9" hurt themselves. So I played golf. But I continued to play recreational football until I was in my 50s.
Wow.
Okay? So I played football in some sort of a league from 6 years old to 54 years old.
Woo.
Okay, now, because of that, my body adapted to starting and stopping with cleats. If you take 10 other 30-pound overweight golf pros who are 62 years old, or let's say 13 other ones, and we play 7-on-7 and Dennis is going to be the referee, everybody's probably going to pull a muscle. I'm going to embarrass those dudes. I'm going to run faster than them. I'm going to shake them in the open field. I'm going to pick off all their weak passes because it's not muscle memory. It's memory. I know how to play. They don't. Just like if I played golf against an ex-tour player who won 10 times on tour, who's 75 years old, he's probably going to beat me, even though I'm still a plus handicap at 62 years old. So your body architecture changes. If you look at a tour player, PGA Tour player's hands, and you go, okay, there's 2 lefties and there's 2 righties over here. If you knew interlock or overlap grip, you're going to be able to look. You're going to see the right finger is going to be twisted to make a trigger finger. You're going to see the pinky is. So your architecture is going to change.
Right.
But you're never going to forget how to do it. Right? Like they say, like riding a bike. Right? You remember how to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why every time Tiger got hurt, and I know you I know your issues with Tiger, but if everybody would ask me, do you think do you think he can still win? Well, he can't play apparently 72 holes without his body breaking down.
Right.
But if he could jump in my weak body, he could win. Because he knows how to win. He knows how to play. And so I will say this. Practice is something that gets in your, subconscious memory, right? Because obviously you drive a car, you don't really think about what hand you're doing, what weapon. You can do all this stuff. And I sang a couple songs at my wedding, and back around that time, I was running a karaoke place in Kentucky 2 nights a week, and I'd probably sing with everybody and sing background vocals on it. And the songs I sang, I had sung in front of a live audience 1,000 times each, and I was just totally blacked out because you're singing at your own wedding. What would be worse than really cackling a note in the middle of a slow song at your own wedding, singing to your new bride? So you're trying to, but because I had done it so many times in front of people, I even had a sore throat it just came out perfect. So the point is, if you're a bad chipper, you go hit 500 chip shots a day, I promise you'll be a little bit better. I don't know, it's not muscle memory.
It's up here.
Subconscious competence, which is how you do most tasks.
Yeah.
And people think they can, teach their memories, the muscles to memorize things. Probably not.
Probably not. No. Well, very, very, I agree with you 110%. Anyway, stay with us, Brian. We're going to take another short break. We're going to come back and finish talking to our special guest, top 100 teacher and great guy, Mr. Brian Manzella. Right back after this. The revolutionary Power to Golf Club is helping golfers around the world continue to enjoy the greatest game of all. This amazing club requires no swing to hit shots from 50 up to 225 yards. That's right, no swing to hit shots, including fades, draws, low shots, as well as high ones. One incredible club does it all. Golfers with a wide variety of physical issues, including bad backs, hips, shoulders, and more, are now back in the game golfing with friends and family. Just set the club to the desired distance, and with a push of the button, the easy-to-use Power to Golf Club launches shots down the fairway and onto the green. The Power to Golf Club has been endorsed by some of the biggest names in golf, and the number of golfers enjoying the game by use of our unique technology continues to grow. Whether a physical issue or just want to join in on the fun, the Power to Golf Club is for you. Don't be left on the sidelines. Get back in the game today. Visit at powergolfclub.com.
As golfers, we want instant gratification when it comes to a better golf swing and playing better golf. Impossible, you say? Not anymore. Golf Boost Artificial Intelligence, AI, has developed and patented the most advanced swing analysis technology in golf. Simply, the algorithms detect your body position and then analyze your golf swing using their artificial intelligence technology. The AI captures all the relevant data from your swing video and then presents you a personalized lesson. Golf Boost AI is the ultimate swing analysis and virtual instruction system for golfers of all ages and abilities. This sophisticated software takes into consideration your height and build, playing level, and returns the ideal solution for your swing. Bottom line, Golf Boost AI is an incredibly convenient and cost-effective tool for golfers to improve their swing. Go to golfboost.com and check it out. The app is free to download and try. Visit golfboost.com today.
All right, like the screen said, welcome back, everybody, to more of the 19th Hole podcast for golfers. I'm your host, Dennis Silvers, having a great conversation, as we always do, with Mr. Brian Manzella. Brian, let me ask you this. I think most players know that strength comes into the equation when wanting to add more distance to your shots, but I think speed is the real answer. How does a player add speed to his or her swing, and where does the speed really come from? Is it rotation? Is it the arms? Is it the shoulder? What do they need to do, briefly?
I've seen tests, where the guy's title is TPI. This is a better one to me. Now, you have to throw out the fact that I played college golf with some guys from Canada that had never played much football. I had to teach them how to throw a football. But in general, everybody can throw a ball of some sort. The people who can throw a ball far, you go get a bunch of 60, 70-year-old guys and gals. You say, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to run 10 yards and long jump, right? Long jump. Right, because high jump is a different skill altogether than long jump. Long jump's is much more like golf. Can you run a little shuttle? Can you kind of run and turn and go backwards and turn? And can you throw a ball? You probably can hit a golf ball pretty far. If you have some straight line something, and you got the clubs in your hand. Can you throw a frisbee pretty far? It's a lot like people who can't do any of those things any better than my mom when she was 80 wonder why they can't hit the ball far. They have no chance. Okay, so that they have people now. It's a cottage industry, right? That they're sort of physical therapists who specialize in golf, speed training and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that there's a couple of them I like more than others, but this is what I would do if I were somebody who was distance challenged. Take a couple of lessons from a good teacher so you can figure out, maybe I lost 20 yards because I was a slicer, fiction, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But start doing something. Buy a basketball and go to the local playground and then shoot some free throws. And then the next time you come, shoot a couple of layups. And then, play yourself on the whole court to 10. How long is that going to take? Not that long if you're shooting layups and free throws. If you're not moving, if you couldn't take a golf club and just throw it out in a field somewhere where there was no animals and children to get hurt and make it helicopter out there 40 or 50 yards, you're not going to hit a golf ball 250 yards. You're just not. But there's hope because until 2028, when they roll this ball back, you can hit it 250 yards if you can swing 90 miles an hour if you have a good driver.
Yeah.
So, I think that these guys are going to find out. This is a question I get asked a lot when I do shows, and the ball is going to go shorter in 2028 for everybody. And they say that the regular person is not going to know the difference. And I'm telling you right now, baloney.
That's not true. Yeah. That's not true. I agree. That is baloney. They are going to notice big time. And we'll see how many of them actually adhere to the new rule and say, well, I'm not doing that. I'm playing with my old balls and, all of that kind of stuff.
They're going to run out. See,
they're going to run out. I know.
They're going to run out. Everybody's going to ball hoard. There's going to be a lot of that.
That's why I am hoarding every ball I could get because I'm going to be on the black market and say, you want some Pro V1s?
Black market for Pro V1s. You know that. You can bet. But here's the thing, Dennis. Here's what I learned a few years ago. I've been an English trainer for 15 years besides my studio here. And maybe the third or fourth year they had that groove change. That's about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
They went to the head pro at the time, Sean Rooney, and they said, Titleist rep, he said, I have these Vokey wedges with the old grooves. 36, if you buy 36 of them, that's a lot of wedges to buy for just a regular golf shop, right?
Oh, yeah.
50% off of what we were selling them for a year ago. So Sean bought them. So the Vokey wedge was like $150, selling price, because whatever we paid for them, $120. Now we're at $60. We could sell them for $90. Sure, we're going to sell a bunch.
Yeah.
It took us 3 years. People want to play with they really do want to play with you're not going to be able to play in your club championship. You're not going to be able to play in the member guest and the member.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen is you're going to go out to play some famous golf course. You're going to pay a bunch of money and you're going to play Shadow Creek or Pebble Beach. And you're going to say, I broke 80. And they're going to say, what ball you play with? So I think everybody's going to switch.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be very disappointing at first. And you're going to realize that politicians and people who act like politicians, the RNA and the USGA, lie to the general public. They're going to tell you that the ball is going to go 25 yards shorter for Bryson DeChambeau. What they done, the first thing, but not any shorter for Dennis Silvers. They're lying. Here's the first thing. Bryson DeChambeau's first hole is 500 yards. So he's got to hit 2 shots. So that means 25 plus 22 is 47 yards. Okay? You're not going to lose any distance. Come on. You're going to lose 15 or 20 on a 2-shot hole, the long par 4, let's say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying it might not be a better sport. You know what I want to do? I want to go to one of those hickory tournaments. They play with the fake feathery balls, and I think it would be a blast. I think golf is fun. golf was fun when me and Dennis started, and we played with persimmon, blade irons, and a ball you could bite a hole in the cover if you missed a putt. So it's a great game, and I think it's going to survive the the ball change. But let me tell you, if you want distance, you're going to have to work on you and your golf swing.
Right.
Not just your golf swing.
Because anything else is not going to give it to you. It's you that's holding the club that makes it happen. Real quick before we let you go, you're going to be down at the PGA Merchandise Show in Orlando. Hopefully the
every year since 1985.
I know, a long time.
One.
And hopefully the Orange County Convention Center is still standing with this stupid hurricane and stuff like that. Okay. And you're going to be teaching again another big time class with a lot of instructors.
Yeah, we always have something down there. Me and Mike Jacobs will probably have a seminar, and I'm also participating in a presentation at the Teaching Summit, which is the week right before, where of all things, they decided to put me in a debate with another teacher. Boy, the poor guy.
Oh my God. Well, I hope
could have beat both of those. I could have beat both of those guys. The guy and that gal that was on TV in that presidential debate. I'd have beat them both.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I hope you come hungry because you're probably going to chew this guy up and spit him out. So
no, he's a smart guy. No, I mean, look, the thing is, you don't want to put a clown suit on yourself. I'm going to do a good job, but I believe what I believe, and I'll fight for it if I have to.
Absolutely. No, you are a big time credit to the profession. You're a great instructor, have been for a long time, and one of our favorite guests. And I want to thank you for your time. Sorry about the screw ups in the beginning of the show.
Lou Guzzi's a nice looking old guy too.
He's a great guy. Yeah, I'm going to call him up and say, Brian.
And so, you'll get a kick out of that.
Yeah. Anyway, hopefully we're going to see you in Costa Mesa. I will be in touch before that. Thank you.
Sure.
And again, pleasure to have you. We'll talk to you sooner than later.
Always great to be on the show, Dennis. Best
Thanks, my friend. Thank you. Brian Manzella, everybody. All right, one more quick break. We'll come back. We'll finish up the show. One of the perks about being in golf media is that I get to try every club ever made. Of course, like most things, some are better than others. I'm here to tell you that I have found unquestionably the absolute best performing set of irons I have ever played, and my scores show it. Let me introduce you to Grindworks, custom fitted irons that are made to fit your game. Grindworks offers players 3 different styles of irons. You can choose muscle back irons, cavity back irons, and even blades, along with some awesome wedges. And when you purchase your clubs, Grindworks lets you choose the type of shaft you want, the type grip you prefer, and even will adjust the loft and lie of your clubs if needed. That's unheard of. So what are you waiting for? Feel the power and experience and performance of these amazing clubs. Simply go to grindworksusa.com or call 281-651-4046 to order. Trust me, your handicap will love you for it.
Carter Bonus of Spectrum Golf not slowing down. His 3rd year at the PGA Show, and the cameras are still following him. This time, Whistle Sports Media and Entertainment and Fox 35's morning show in Orlando, Florida. Carter, who is on the autism spectrum, has been Sports Illustrated Sports Kid of the Year, the Masters UPS Unstoppable CEO of the Year, all while securing a spot on the Stars of the Spectrum golf team created by former NFL quarterback Doug Flutie. Carter has been telling his incredible story about why he started his line of golf apparel around the globe, and his impact is making a difference.
I know that some stuff seems hard and that it's impossible, but one of my favorite quotes is, "It seems impossible until it's done." And over the past 3 years, I never thought I would get here, and do all the stuff that I'm doing right now. Be Sports Illustrated Sports Kid of the Year for 2022. Be UPS's and the Masters Unstoppable CEO. Meet Steph Curry. Meet all of these good people. Meet Ernie Els, Alex Checa. Meet all, and be speaking in schools and in front of all of you good people and everyone that I've spoken to before. I never thought I would do any of this. When I was little, I thought I would be nothing. But now I'm actually here, and I am successful, and I am happy, and I am thriving, and I'm saying if I can do it, you guys can do it.
Carter, who loves playing golf, designed his own logo and put it on the softest material he could find because he has a skin sensitivity. So it not only looks good, but feels good too. He offers hats, belts, shirts, pants, and more. For more information, go to carterspectrumgolf.com.
Hi, I'm Dennis Silvers, but I'm not here today to talk to you about golf. I'm here to talk to you about America's favorite pastime, baseball. America's pastime is back and better than ever with a twist you won't believe. Introducing Old Timers Day, a movie coming soon to theaters near you.
It is a story detailing the greatest baseball game of all time. Two teams, one chosen by God, one chosen by Satan, with the greatest players of all time, living and deceased, playing alongside each other to determine the fate of mankind.
This book, world tour, and movie will help unify the millions of baseball fans around the country and help satisfy the millions of people that have faith and compassion for their fellow man.
Who will win this epic game? You'll have to watch to find out. Expect an unforgettable experience that will touch your heart and soul.
The Good Old Boys is brought to you by the Celestial Baseball Association,
Who are hitting home runs for God. Old Timers Day, where the spirit of baseball meets the power of faith. Don't miss it. Order your copy today at dpztechnology.com/store. Get this, use promo code OTD20 for an amazing 20% off. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time for this edition of the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers. So for Brian Manzella, I'm Dennis Silvers. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. And when you can, remember, get out and play some golf and enjoy yourself. We will be back same time, same place next week. So until then, bye, everybody.